Hello, I'm Jagannath, and you're watching The Natural Farmer. Okay, so in this video we're going to travel to a different town. It's a village, one of the villages that the NGO that I work for has adopted here in India. It's about 7 hours northeast of here, where I am now in Kerala. And at the demonstration farm we receive between 2.5 and 3 meters of rain a year. The place that we're going to, they receive 82 centimeters a year, so it's about 1/3 the amount or less. It's in what they call a rain shadow, which means that there's a small mountain range, kind of hill range, that pushes all the weather up, dumps the rain on the far side, and comes across on the side that we'll be working on. So they don't get as much rain as the other side of the mountain does. Rain has been down over the last 20 years. You see it all over the world, actually. And farmers are still waiting for the rains to return to the way that they were. That's a pretty common reaction for all farmers, myself included. But part of the solution is to just accept the conditions as they are now and to move forward. This kind of, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but this kind of wishful thinking syndrome a little bit in terms of rainwater harvesting needs to be set aside and move forward with the conditions as they are today, because otherwise people won't take action. They'll just wait for things to miraculously resolve themselves, even though there's more and more degradation happening on the planet, okay, in terms of nature. So that's a very important point. Okay, so I want to stress that. The other part is that we are very grateful just to have a farmer to cooperate with us, because we asked a number of farmers and many seemed quite hesitant, understandably so. We move a big piece of equipment on their land. Their land is like their child. It's very sacred, and it's a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Okay. All of that being said, this farmer agreed to work with us. So as you'll see in the video, we find the contour, we set up a trench. The trench is connected to a pond, and the pond is located right next to the farmer's well. Okay, so I think that's all I need to really say in introduction. This is going to be a 2-part video. So the first part of this video is going to strictly focus on the catching of water, the rainwater harvesting, groundwater recharge aspect that happens. And then the second part of the video will focus on the food forest that we plant up. So this will be a 2-stage kind of filming here. So this is part 1 here. Okay, so this is just a little drawing of basically what we did. So the farmer's well is located here. Okay, it's a huge well, the kind of well that you walk down into. I can show you that footage right now. So the goal is there are 2 goals. One is to recharge this well, and 2, I'll show you with a different pencil, is to stop the land from falling into this seasonal river, because there's a seasonal river here, and all the water is flowing down, 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 and it's eroding his land on this side. Okay, so there's 2 goals: recharge and stop erosion. The neighbor's trees are like along here, basically, this whole kind of area of trees. Okay, this is the neighbor. There is a ravine where the water accelerates and it goes down kind of into a ravine here. We're not going to take care of that yet. We'll take care of that on part 2 of this. But our plan, and then there's a path that runs here with our farmer. There's some fields back here, and the field, the main experimentational field, is here. Okay, and there's like a little berm here. Okay, that already exists. So what we did, the little flagged stakes are the contour that we ended up finding right here. So there's a big trench. So I'll just draw
this trench, and the trench kind of bends this way. Okay, and then that kind of feeds into this pond that we make here. Okay, like that. Okay, so then the earth berm is on the back side of this. It kind of comes around, it gets a little bigger, and then gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So here's the earth berm. Back side of the pond berm. Okay. Then this is where we harvest water. This is water harvested all along this contour trench. Okay? So it's like a big arm that reaches out and it grabs the water as the water's coming down. And water always goes perpendicular to this trench. So it grabs the water coming that would normally erode this whole area. We're grabbing it and we're putting it in this pond. And when we put it into this pond naturally percolates toward the well, because this is downhill. And as this subterranean water fills in this area, it will go into this well and recharge the well. So that's the first part. The second part is this perimeter trench. Now, the farmer said that occasionally there's a truck needs to come through here for harvesting purposes. So we left this open for now, but we made another trench basically here. And another berm basically right at the edge. Okay? So this is a berm, earth berm. And this is also where we harvest water. So then the idea is that he's got nitrogen fixing trees here. Okay? They're currently here. So we keep the nitrogen fixers here in this kind of zone. Okay? Because they keep this from eroding down into the seasonal river. But in addition, we basically are going to plant a long line of mango trees on here. So these have become the new mangoes. The short-term benefit is that these mangoes provide food, provide fruit. They harvest the water from this trench. And then we also provide a series of trees in a form of what we call food forest here, not on this back side of the pond. We don't want it to erode the contents of the pond. And sometimes when you plant fruit trees on a pond bank, it will make a leaky pond. So we don't want that. We're basically going to have fruit trees here. So we have water harvesting, we have soil conservation, we have a crop in the form of fruit trees, and then he can cultivate this area as he likes, and he can cultivate this area as he likes. So that's the basic breakdown of what we're doing at this man's farm. Level? Level. Okay. And now my level is still a little bit... Same, okay? Check that.
Correct.
It's okay, check it?
Low.
This is low.
Now it's correct.
Now it's correct. Okay, same. Mine is correct. We're sticked. Cameraman. Okay, so we're at the end of the day, and basically we have staked out Jagannath's field. We've taken, I'd say, about half of an acre. He seems more and more open to the idea, so we're pretty excited about that. But all along here, we've basically run 3 contours. 1, 2, 3. And the plan is, over in this area, is to put a pond that's connected to a swale. So the swale will catch all this water running across the land
and it will fill the swale and dump it into the pond. And then there'll be an overflow, it'll go down into the next swale. So we want 2 ponds. This upper pond, because it's the closest to the well. So we always want to catch water closest to the well. Now, it's not in a perfect situation. The perfect situation would be having the land come downhill and then the well at the bottom of the hill. And then everything you catch will automatically just gently go into the well. We are in the proximity of the well. We're gonna harvest water that will go to the subterranean levels near the well, and it will recharge it, but it's not a perfect situation for recharge, but we're gonna have to work with what we have. And then the second pond we're aiming for is back over here. So if I walk around, this is the downhill side. Now the downhill side will still put water into the subterranean levels, but some of it will leak out into the ravine. But we just want to catch it also for preventing erosion. So we've got an uphill pond and a downhill pond. Both of them will be fed by swale. So this is the plan. We'll try to take a little bit better image of this tomorrow with maybe some powder on the ground, some rice powder, so you'll be able to see the swale much easier. So we are ready to go. Here's the width of the trench. We've marked it out. We've got our contour. We've spoken with our driver. We've shown him a little drawing. And we have basic understanding of what's happening here. Okay, good. It's a very small trench. Super. No problem. Yeah. So he'll get the hang of it. That's a very small trench for him. This is again some of the restraints that we're facing here in terms of possibilities, doing them or not, because the teeth on this tractor, on this JCB, are going to be problematic. You want smooth normally, and you can see that the teeth are not going to make this trench smooth. So we're literally going to have to come back and shape these trenches by hand, which is what we're up against here. It's the first project we're working with these guys, and so you face some of these things in the beginning. Okay, so this area here is too steep. We want to cut this down some, and then we're going to shape this whole area up the mound, the berm. Okay, so now this trench is basically dug. We have just a little bit more shaping to do, but as you can see, it's got a nice kind of serpentine shape, gentle serpentine shape, which is usually a sign that you've truly found contour and that you're not just making straight lines in the landscape, okay? But now we've moved to the next step over here, where he's scraping off the topsoil from this pond. So the JCB will slowly take the first 1 foot 18 inches of the topsoil off. He'll place it back behind us, over behind the trench here, and then the farmer will put that topsoil in the land as needed. You don't want to bury this topsoil under a berm. It would be completely wasted, because it takes many hundreds of years to make nice topsoil. And this farmer has about 1 foot 18 inches of this beautiful topsoil. Okay, so basically at this point we've got the entire area cleared of topsoil, and so we go to the next step, which is to make a trench basically around the outside and to angle it down at a 45 and to lift the dirt out over the edge and to make like a rim going all the way around this pond, okay? Because remember, right behind where the camera is the well, and we want to hold water in this area off the trench. We're going to hold it, and then we're going to run a spillway over into this pond itself. So it's going to gently spill over when it gets too high, so it doesn't flood this other area over here. The first step is to make a rim around. Okay, so here we are, day 2. It's about 10:30 in the morning, I think. We've been up and running again for about an hour and a half, I'd say. This first trench has been dug. Got dug yesterday. Started slowly, and then the operator found his rhythm and knocked it out pretty well. And then the pond got shaped well, so we have the edge of the pond shaped. Now we're just waiting for a tractor to come and take the central material out and get it at the depth that we want, and then take this material over this backside to do another part. We're going to help build an earth dam over there, fill in a gully. But then this side is, all the water is basically moving kind of in this direction, this direction. It changes a little bit as you move over the landscape. This is a border trench. So the idea is, and permaculture says, don't let the water leave your land. This farmer has lost a massive amount of land here over the years. His farm used to be about another 20 meters that direction beyond our extremity here, but it's all fallen into this seasonal river because it just rushes down this hill and erodes, okay? And then what makes matters worse is for years, there are these nitrogen fixing thorny trees here, and for years people would come with big trucks and pull them out. They dig them out and remove the trees because they wanted to use them for firewood. And the farmer said, yeah, no problem. But to his detriment, because these trees have actually shown up to hold the land, and he aggravated the situation by letting the people take the trees, okay? So now he's not doing that anymore. The neighbors across the way have actually planted cacti in addition to these trees to help hold the soil. So people are becoming more conscious of the fact that if you don't hold the soil, it disappears and your farm literally shrinks. He estimates that his farm has shrunk by about an acre. He's lost an acre of land into this river. Because it's, these are like, it's very dry here, 82 centimeters of rain every year, okay, throughout the year. It does have a monsoon about the 3rd week in June, and that's why we're doing this work now. We're in the 1st week of May. And so as a dry area, or a drying area, because it's become drier and drier over the last 30 years, like we see all over the planet, we go more in peaks and valleys in terms of the rainfall. So there's no rain, it's dry, everybody sees how dry it is, and then a massive rain comes, washes everything out, takes a ton of topsoil. And you see these, instead of there being a nice smooth curve as there is in like a more kind of monitored place with more trees, a little bit more rainfall, the trees start to disappear, people mismanage the land, and it becomes peaks and valleys, very exaggerated amounts of rainfall. Flood and drought and flood and drought. And you see this over and over and over. And then you take on a full desert environment and it's flood, flash flood and drought. So what we're trying to do very slowly, as well as we can, bit by bit, is to help catch water. And then in catching the water, you start to reestablish the ground cover. And we also start to reestablish the trees. And that's the goal here. And hopefully if we demonstrate it in one area, other farmers start to pick up on this. The NGO can help different people. There are government schemes, there are options, but this must be reversed and stopped. And that's what we're trying to do here. Okay, so there's part one of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned something. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. And stay tuned for part two of this video. I'm planning on going up there very soon because the monsoon has just started here in the south of India, in Kerala. And that usually means there's about a 2-week delay between here and there, which would allow us to go up there and then have the rain start and then plant the saplings on the bunts. And that's the idea, is you want to get them on the bunts while it's raining, because otherwise it's too hard for the farmer to maintain all those saplings. So end of part one. My name is Jagannath. Thanks for tuning in.